We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
With Jason Bermas.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. And folks, I gotta tell you, I am really hoping and praying that there is going to be some kind of a semblance of an actual election and that I will have a choice that isn't utterly terrible. Like, isn't Bush Kerry terrible? Isn't Barack Star Romney terrible? Isn't Barack Star McCain terrible? And I know so many of you out there, and I think it's warranted, by the way. It's not like I'm hating on you for it. Just don't have any hope whatsoever, right? It's just, sorry, there's nothing we can do, and it's all over. It's a black pill moment. And I often say, hey, look, bottom line is that you're going to have to look in the mirror. You're going to have to navigate things yourself. That is up to you. And unfortunately, that's just the world we live in, right? Today kicks off Donnie T's civil case. He's out in New York City right now. We'll go over that. Again, unprecedented for a judge to find you guilty in a civil case and tell you can no longer operate your businesses in the state of New York, where your revenue has to be in the, I would imagine, hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars. And at the same time, the opposition party, which has just gotten so over the top, it's almost, you just, every day's something just a little bit newer, isn't it? Every day is just like the whole pulling the, it's so cartoonish. I don't even want to cover the fact that this guy pulled the lever thinking somehow that was going to do some good and that you wouldn't be caught, the fire alarm, so that the government never shuts down, even when the government shuts down, everybody. Okay? It's just, and honestly, it's not like you save a bunch of money. The system has to be gutted from the inside out. The bureaucracy is absolutely stunningly real at this point. It's stunningly real. Okay? Like I don't know what else to say about it. Now, RFK Jr. is out there right now saying, hey, I'm making an announcement. And by the way, like, I was thinking about it. Do I go to this? It's on October 9th. I'm going to play his video in a moment. And everybody's already saying independent. I hope he goes with a party. I hope he goes with a party that he can get on the ballot in every single state. And now it's like, do I go out to Philadelphia on Monday? I really have to go on Sunday. Is that even feasible? Is that even feasible for me to do at this point? I've got to check my schedule for the other show I do, see who the guest is supposed to be. Plus, I mean, what is that? Like $1,000 at least? It's got to be $1,000 trip. We'll see. We'll see what we're going to do. But what we are going to do is we're going to play the announcement by RFK Jr. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Got a bunch of news, bunch of videos. May even go to the crowd, talk to you guys. I always do love talking to you guys. That's why I'd love to be able to do the phone call thing. Like, the phone call thing is so key. Sometimes the phone call thing can get out there. I'm not going to lie. Some people get on their high horse or just saying the Johnny nonsense or maybe even trolling and having a good old shebango in time. But at times, it can honestly be really, really important stuff. So we're going to do it. We're going to go to the RFK Jr. clip. And look, I'm going to talk about a conversation I had with my brother after this. I also, a little housekeeping just before I get there. I was only able to get one premium up this weekend, had another cancellation on Saturday. My fingers are crossed, however, because on Sunday, after the cancellation on Saturday, I reached out to somebody that would be a really interesting premium interview that would stand the test of time. So fingers are crossed on that one. I'm hoping for him to get back to me today. We'll see where it goes. Here's RFK Jr. talking about Philly.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to be in Philadelphia on October 9th to make a major announcement at the very birthplace of our nation. I'm not going to tell you right now exactly what that announcement will be. I can say, though, that if you've been waiting to come to one of my public events, this will be the one to come to. I'll be speaking about a sea change in American politics and what your part and my part is in that change. A lot of Americans who had previously given up any hope that real change would ever come through the American electoral process have begun to find new hope in my candidacy. And I understand the deeply felt concern that people have about the way corruption has overtaken our government. It's in the executive branch, it's in Congress, it's in the leadership of both political parties. And so some people feel a kind of cynicism alongside the hope, or they lose hope entirely because they've been disappointed so many times. I want to tell you now what I've come to understand after 6 months of campaigning. There is a path to victory. The hope we are feeling isn't some kind of trick of the mind. We all recognize that there's a genuine possibility of national transformation, and its source is the goodness of the American people. Our government may be crooked, but our people are kind, brave, and caring. That goodness is stronger than the divisions that are keeping us all apart. I see it every day on the campaign trail, and the more I see it, the more I trust it. And the more I trust it, the more the path to victory becomes visible. So how are we going to win against the established Washington interests? It's not through playing the game by the corrupt rules that the corrupt powers and the vested interests have rigged to keep us all in their thrall. Instead, we're going to have to rewrite the assumptions and change the habits of American politics. We're going to tap into a mighty surge of people power to reclaim an honest, peaceful, just, and prosperous America. So I am inviting you to join me in Philadelphia on October 9th. There I'll share with you our path to the White House and how we can all participate in healing our nation.
So there it is, October 9th, 2023, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And by the way, my premium was with Steve Poikonen, Slow News Day, AM Wake Up. And we had some critical things to say about RFK Jr. I'm going to be playing those clips. I think that's okay. In fact, it's not only okay, it's encouraged, right? Like, let's be honest with ourselves. So let's talk about that conversation with my brother. Hadn't talked to him in a while. Said something to him about RFK Jr. announcing this and the possibility of going to Philadelphia, and he is just totally down on the guy. He's like, "Come on, Jason." He's like, "A Kennedy is gonna save us now? A Kennedy?" And I'm like, "I get it, man." But he's saying some of the right things. And he's like, "Yeah, but you know what? His position on Israel is over the top." And he goes, "What he allowed his wife to do at that party is over the top." And Steve and I have an even further discussion about that. I don't even want to talk about it on this side of the network. Maybe some of you guys know the answer, but it got me to thinking, if she wasn't going to allow that, did RFK Jr., boobity, boobity, bibbity, bobbity? I mean, you would assume that she did if one of the stipulations of that party was that you had to do that. I don't know. Just saying. Just watching the ball game as it goes through. Vivek, now I can talk about the debate with some authority. What a milquetoast, terrible Republican debate. I mean, it reminded me why so many people are disconnected, uninvolved, don't care, and look at people that do kind of like, why are you even bothering? Are you listening to this guy? Are you listening to these people? Like, whereas the first debate had some real issues and had some real breakout moments, especially for Vivek, this one was dumb. Dumb. Like, when I think I nailed it on Thursday when I pointed out the dumb, it was awful. Watch the full thing, almost 2 hours long. Watch Nikki Haley talk about every time she hears Ramaswamy talk, she feels like she gets dumber. That's on her end. Everybody grandstanding up there, letting everybody know whose family is served in this and what bill they got passed here. What a bunch of losers, man. What a bunch of losers. Mike Pence couldn't be a faker human being. I mean, you'd have to go back to like Robot Gore. Okay? Like, at least with Joey B, you were getting a slick ass gangster. Come on, Jack. Like, seriously. I always said that about him. Like, another great conversation that I had with Poikinen over on the Premium this weekend on how, this guy was unapologetically corrupt and let you know. I mean, yeah, did he grandstand about how great he was? Yeah, but he talked and walked like a gangster. The reason he gets so angry now is because he got so angry then and postured then. And one of those last gangster-ass moves was to move on Flynn. And that's the thing, guys. You got to realize that Flynn had to be a real problem for the establishment. They did not like his viewpoints. They did not want him not only in that administration, but in Trump's ear, that they took him out with the Logan Act. I mean, wow. That's something that people need to pay attention. They took him out with the Logan Act, for God's sakes. Just on total Johnny nonsense. And now we're at a point where they're getting ready to put Donnie T in prison. Some I asked Flynn directly. Did not get a direct answer. Shocking. No one wants to come around on this. Too many people are busy talking about emergency broadcasting systems being turned on in 2 days. And a bunch of Johnny nonsense that don't matter. Talk to Andrew Huff for an hour. This is the real deal. EcoHealth whistleblower got a call from DARPA after the fact. Wanted to promote him. As soon as he was starting to figure out what was going on. Had a conversation about that. You wonder why we talk about DARPA all the time. Okay? And we have a conversation about the Wi-Fi surveillance system that we played the video of on here. That's real. That's real. There are waves bouncing off around us, invisible, all over the place, that are only invisible to our naked eye. And instruments and tools can absolutely read them. And from reading them, they could turn your just entire home and therefore the neighborhood into an intricate spy network. No infrared cameras needed. Really, just internet remote access needed. Imagine that. Imagine that. You don't have to imagine it. It's here. All right. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. I want you to thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Again, slew of news, slew of clips. Second hour's got some videos. This old Donahue video from 1985 dealing with the shiggity shugadas. Can't play that in the first hour. That's going to be exclusively at rvmrumble.com. But first, a word from our sponsor.
We interrupt today's programming to bring unfortunate news. Biden's dangerous plan for a digital dollar is underway. Don't be fooled. It won't benefit you. So take action now. The Federal Reserve's phased deployment of FedNow began on July 1st, 2023. Be prepared. This may catch many off guard and put your hard-earned assets in jeopardy. But here's the good news. There's a simple legal tax loophole to opt out of the digital dollar. Speak to someone at American Alternative Assets for a free wealth protection guide and discover how to safeguard your wealth with gold and silver IRAs against a failing dollar and volatile markets. Dial 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. This invaluable guide provides precise steps to transfer your IRA or 401k into precious metals without any tax consequences. Don't let Biden force you into using the government's new digital dollar. Call 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. Act swiftly, 833-287-2465.
Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Second hour over at rvmrumble.com. Free of charge, by the way, guys. The second hour, I mean, we would play it on YouTube. We'd be off the air. And by the way, just so you guys know, I lose 10 subscribers a day now. Like 10 a day, usually. Like at least close to 150 a month. I've had no net gain of any subscribe. I can go on a show, and all of a sudden, I get like 100 or 200 subscribers, like a big popular show, maybe 100 or 200 subscribers. They wipe them out over the next couple of months. Wiped out. It's such a loser-ass platform, just like Google is a loser-ass company with a loser-ass government. Now, another thing I was discussing with Steve Poikin, and banger of an interview. You know, the fact that, we're so, Nikki Haley was up there talking about Ramaswamy. He uses TikTok. He talks bad about social media, but he uses TikTok. And the Chinese can get your information. The Chinese. Are you Looney Tunes, lady? Listen, I know you think you're talking to the lowest common denominator. And unfortunately, even some people who think they're in the know are really concerned about that. But China and the United States are just nation states, okay? There's been a public-private partnership through Google for decades now. And really, there was a public-private partnership started big time during The Nixon administration with David Rockefeller and his minions like who? Mr. Still Alive, Mr. Absolutely looks like a Gotham villain, Henry Kissinger. Okay? And that's we had that conversation. A lot of this is still top of mind because it matters. Okay? So Google, all right, is partnering with China to censor their people openly. Okay? Like that's the deal. Among other nations, I mean, Google's everywhere. But you got to understand it works with our Defense Department, works with NASA on quantum computing. There's all sorts of shell companies. It uses the World Health Organization and the UN as a proxy to censor as authoritative sources at this point. But Dragonfly was the first hint, and this again shows how ignorant the American people were and how unconcerned we were. Even for those of us that rang the alarm bells, hey, they just got caught making a censored Google for China. I'll bet they'll do it here. And our media just acted like it didn't exist, didn't discuss it. He gets called out, and by he, I talk about Eric Schmidt. And I was struggling yesterday to remember the name of the book that I used to always bring up here. And I got to get a little bookshelf for the next office or whatever. Have that on hand. But The New Digital Age by Eric Schmidt. Talk about a transhumanist nightmare, like stepping you into that realm at the end. but the track, trace, database, Internet of Things into Internet of Body Society. He talked about it. And in this, National Security Council guy, that's the other thing. Schmidt's when I say they're in business with the national security, they are the national security apparatus. Come on. So he gets asked about this, 2017. In fact, we'll do it live right now.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Dragonfly. Here we go. We're going to go Dragonfly, China, Schmidt. Opens up about working with, that's a year ago. Are you kidding me, man? Tech rivalry a year ago? No. No. There he is. Schmidt on the NSA, China and North Korea. I mean, and Schmidt, again, a steering committee member at Bilderberg. Another reason we talk about that organization. The real deal. So Dragonfly, Schmidt, censorship. Let's see if we can get, I'm going to have to, I guarantee it. That's 11 years ago. Faces challenge swaying China on censorship. They worked with China on censorship. This is like the Johnny nonsense of old. Bloomberg Originals. Boy, China sure wants to censor. Google still had the "Don't Be Evil" moniker at that point. Let's see. Just nowhere. Okay, that's fine. So let's take it out of YouTube. So this is a lesson in how censored their own. And by the way, YouTube is the number 2 search engine. Number 1 is Google. Let me repeat that. Number 2 is actually YouTube. That's how many people go there. They've got a technopoly on the first 2 search engines. All right, so let's go to DuckDuckGo. Let's see if we can get it on the first try. Videos. This is trash. I'm so mad. Because basically Schmidt says, yes, censored search for China. There's 2019. Let's see what we got here. Help China be more open. Get out of here with that garbage. What is this, The Intercept? Yeah. Is this it right here? Ex-Google Schmidt defends tax. Yes, this is it. BBC Newsnight. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. At least I can get something on DuckDuckGo. Okay, here we go.
It's much better to encourage people to express their opinions.
Well, if you think that transparency is a virtue, then why did your employees find out from a New York Times investigation what you were doing in China, a search engine that would be censored, that they found out from reading the newspaper?
I wasn't involved in those decisions.
Total lie! I wasn't involved. Total lie! Just lying with immunity. I wasn't, and then he's just going to pass the buck to Sergey Brin.
But I can tell you that certainly the people who were building all these products knew about it. And in any case, the company is not pursuing those products at this moment, according to our new CEO, Sundar.
And he says not, who's he talking about? Sundar Pichai? Wait. Is this back? I want to go to YouTube right now and watch it from there. I want to see exactly when this was, because I thought it was 2017. Nope, it's 2019. Okay, fair. Sometimes I get things wrong.
Not pursuing it after what, 1,400 of your employees signed a letter against it. Your employees found out that you were secretly building a censored version of your search engine for China.
You're implying that there's some surprise here. The company has many, many different products under development. All I can say, I was not involved.
We have many different products in development. And this is why also, I defend when Google engineers walk out, because they're developing warfare drone technology. And that's a problem with Matt Gaetz, by the way. We're going to talk about Matt Gaetz because they're trying to get rid of him because he wants to get rid of McCarthy. Matt Gaetz talking about how, how dare they? They're unpatriotic. Dude, the drones are for us. It's not just for the people in the Middle East. It's for us. They're for us. just like the internet was for us. Okay?
Of this at all is that the company has indicated it's not pursuing that property at this point.
It's indicated we're not pursuing that property at this point. They just changed the name. Okay? And obviously they pursued it. Did you just, I mean, me searching for this is a glaring example of how they pursued that product. And look at his little smug face, too. Oh, Schmidt bothers me. I mean, this is the one where he also defends the fact they pay zero taxes. Oh, it's not a technopoly. He works with the national security apparatus. They're literally $1 trillion company. Again, number one search engine, number two search engine, number one video platform in the world, number one operating system in Android. Get out of here.
So what does that mean then? Does that mean that, because we're getting back to that whole question of mission, morality, that the company was wrong to be doing that?
No, the company does many, many different things. I can remember when I was CEO, people would bring up all sorts of ideas and we would have internal debates. The strength of the company is its debate.
I mean, it's ridiculous. The strength of the company is its debate.
So this product, Dragonfly, which you say has now been put to one side, is that gone for good now? Is that?
I couldn't say.
What do you think should happen?
No, I'm no longer involved in the management of the company, so I shouldn't comment.
The reason I ask is because...
Yes, Sundar Pichai. I'm no longer, I'm not there. I don't know. Well, but who knows what we're going to do with Dragonfly? You're going to unleash it on the globe.
When you were born, you had, as I say, this very clear mission. You were this breath of fresh air, the new kids on the block, weren't you? You know, it was all about, what was the slogan? Don't be evil.
Don't be evil.
Right. And then it became, do the right thing. Now, somewhere between don't be evil and do the right thing lies all these questions.
But look at that smug face while he sits there and defends it. Do the right thing. Don't be evil. Do the right thing. Sometimes the right thing must be evil.
In fairness to the current management, these issues have become much, much more complicated. In 2010, the Chinese attacked Google, and Google moved from the mainland to China, mainland into Hong Kong. That decision, which was well documented, was a decision that was heavily argued inside the company. But the company continues to be very successful in China in its advertising business. So over and over again, you want to simplify these questions into good and bad and so forth. The world is a very interconnected place. There are many, many benefits to interacting, among other things, with China.
I mean, again, interacting with China, sure, you're censoring people. You're under the command and control model.
Not as obvious to me that we should be doing any one of these programs.
But I do want to simplify it in terms of knowing what you think of a censored version of your search engine in a country like China, where you can't even find Tiananmen Square and the massacre when you look for it. Do you feel comfortable with that? Because you may have left now, but this is about culture. This is about your time at that company.
The argument, well, so we're clear, in 2010, I was in favor of remaining in China because I believed that it would be better to stay in China and help change China to be more open.
So you know what I mean? Like, oh, we're going to change China to be moral. Well, let me explain something to you. This is the same kind of answering of questions that you see at government hearings when they don't want to answer the question. You can't look at her and go, of course I love censorship. I work for oligarchs. I'm part of the power structure. You know, one of the clips I have at the very end of Invisible Empire during the credit sequence is Schmidt talking about the future of the world back in 2010, when really the Android operating system was brand new and the idea of a touchscreen smartphone was brand new. And he goes, they call it the New World Order. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. We're going to let Schmidt dodge the question on the other side of this break. Second hour over at rvmrumble.com for free. You want to support the broadcast, redvoicemedia.com/uncensored. Try it for $1 for a week. $10 a month, $100 for the year. Help support the broadcast. Great interview with Steve Poikonen that we just did. We're going to go to break. We're going to come right back.
If you're like me and you want to be prepared for the unexpected,
that's where the wellness company's emergency medical kit comes
over
in.
40% of Americans say that they would avoid a doctor or a hospital unless it was a catastrophic situation.
Medical emergency kits with...
The kit contains 8 potentially life-saving medications for you to keep on hand in the event of natural disasters, supply chain shortages, medical emergencies, or like an apocalyptic situation. These are the actual medications that you would need in the event of certain situations. So they've got emergency antibiotics, antivirals, antiparasitics.
All right, we're going to go back to this Schmidt clip, but then I also have this other clip that is just absolutely and totally and completely incredible, okay? And it's almost like it's not real, and it makes me understand why people are so jaded and upset with the system and just don't have a lot of hope, okay? I understand what you're saying, and I feel your pain, and it's this, I still can't believe it's real. Okay, but basically it's a man representing the State Department addressing, in a run. I don't know if this was like a drill or something. I don't know if the press corps was actually there, but just laughing in their face that he's about to lie to them. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's an extension of what we're watching right here. Okay, so let's get back to Schmidt.
In the debate, the company, after appropriate debate, decided to move to Hong Kong. We don't know whether my strategy would have worked or not.
Are you doing the right thing when you move 20 billion euros through a Dutch shell company to Bermuda to reduce your foreign tax bill? That came from the Dutch Chamber of Commerce. Are you happy that you're on the right side of tax ethics?
We are, because that was the way that the taxes were done at the time. The global tax system is incredibly complicated, and we are required to follow the tax rules, and the tax rules allow that. When those tax rules change, of course, we will adopt them. But there is a presumption that somehow we're doing something wrong here. We are following the global tax regime in the same sense that European companies are following the same things that benefit them when they operate in the United States.
But I mean, again, like they want you to pay taxes. He and his company, and there are many, it's like a dollhouse. It's like the Russian dolls. Boom, 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 boom. There's so many of them. Ain't paying no taxes. Ain't paying no taxes, everybody. Just the way it is. Just the way it is. All right, let's play this clip, which is unbelievable, of a representative of the State Department. I mean, I might have to put this on repeat. It's so out of control.
Anyway, welcome to the State Department. I think we have some interns in the back. Welcome. Good to see you in this exercise in transparency and democracy.
Is that what it is?
Sorry, I didn't mean to break
I thought
out
it was an
laughter.
exercise in spin and obfuscation.
I mean, apparently this was on ABC News. I mean, is he training people at the State Department? Can anybody get me the source on this? Because it is incredible to me. He bursts out to laughter when saying, like, this is about democracy. Just watch.
Anyway, welcome to the State Department. I think we have some interns in the back. Welcome. Good to see you in this exercise in transparency and democracy.
Is that what it is?
Sorry,
I
didn't mean to break out
I thought it was an
laughter.
exercise in spin and obfuscation.
All right. Can you tell this is my last briefing before vacation? Anyway, welcome to the State Department. I think we have some interns in the back. Welcome. Good to see you in this exercise in transparency and democracy.
Is that what it is?
Sorry,
I
didn't mean to break out
it was an
laughter.
exercise in spin and obfuscation.
All right. Can you tell this is my last briefing before vacation?
I mean, I saw it for the first time over the weekend. Could not believe it. But that's how arrogant and in your face it is. That's us now living in the post-truth world with zero accountability. Now I want to say this. I'm not saying we weren't lied to in the 50s and the 60s, even the 70s. I mean, obviously. If a guy did that, who was representing the State Department on camera in those time periods, he would immediately have to resign or he would be removed from his position. They would be like, what are you doing? But now it's just off. The mask is off. They have come out swinging. The mask is off. Okay? If that doesn't show you the mask is off, I don't know what's going to show you the mask is off. And by the way, you know, one of the big problems I had with the Trump administration, even though obviously I'm defending him on this court case that we just looked at the headline. I didn't even read it. We're going to go in there and read a little bit of it in a minute. Was Syria in particular. Okay? Should have stood up to the bullies. We shouldn't have had Mattis there in the first place. And it shouldn't even have been a question. So this is Assad breaking down what's happening in his country and how the quote-unquote terrorists there are U.S. funded. No kidding.
الشمالية الشرقية من سوريا التي يحتلها الإرهابيون.
All the oil wells are controlled by terrorists. Have the U.S. operating behind them.
التي يشرف عليها الأمريكي. فإذا القضية ليست فقط.
So it's not just a problem of theft.
سرقة وإنما القضية هي شراكة.
But they are also in cahoots with the terrorists and sharing the illicit gains. Of course they are.
مع الإرهابيين في تقاسم الأرباح وهي مشكلة ثانية أن تكون دولة عظمى.
It means that the global superpower is colluding with terrorists. No kidding. Really. Oh. Interesting take, Mr. Assad.
شارك الإرهابيين. هذا هو حقيقة الواقع في سوريا.
And that's the reality in Syria. As a result,
لذلك نحن نخسر في تلك المناطق.
We've lost oil resources in that area.
مناطق النفط والقمح نحن كنا.
And as well as wheat producing. Keep in mind, we were originally a wheat exporting country. And that's why, guys, when I talk about these things, I'm not forgetting Syria. I'm not forgetting Yemen. I'm not forgetting what we did with AFRICOM in Libya. It's all happening. It's continuing to happen. All right? And we're damn lucky. You, me, anybody watching this broadcast in a first world nation, we're damn lucky that we have these opportunities. Okay? We're damn lucky that we're not as oppressed as some of those people. And by the way, their oppression has little to, or nothing to do with their skin color. It has to do with their geographical location. Right? Just want to let everybody know. You're born in the wrong place. Bad things can happen easier. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We're extremely lucky that we live in this situation. But why are we not more empathetic to those that are literally being bombed and starved out based in lies? We're so gullible. It's upsetting. And it is stomach turning. You know, it really is. Like, when I take a minute to think about Hawaii and all the children that were killed there, let alone the people, obviously, and how that was just a blip in the news for like a week for thousands of people because it didn't fit a media narrative that was comfortable. Instead, occasionally there'll be some piece where they show how corrupt the boy, something's got to be done. Something's got to be done. But I mean, it's hands off Joe Biden, except for an occasional slap on the wrist in the media, just like every other establishment president. And another reason why it's hard for me not to be sympathetic to Trump who they viciously attacked throughout his presidency. Period. Viciously attacked the guy.
ولا نصدر القمح. لا يوجد لدينا إلا القليل من القمح. لا يوجد لدينا كهرباء. كيف يمكن
Power shortages. How can people live without it? So they're taking their energy. They're taking their food.
يكون هناك حياة من دون كهرباء؟ طبعا لدينا أقل بكثير من الحد.
I mean, Syria was on the way to being a first world nation. Okay? Second world, secular, but it had a lot of Christians in it. Okay? They didn't like that at all.
أدنى للحياة ولكن هذا لا يكفي.
It's just incredible. Just incredible. And is it even a blip in the news? You notice that wasn't on U.S. media. Nope. Nope. And remember, they demonized Tulsi Gabbard for daring to say that she would sit down and talk with Assad. Assad, a leader who speaks multiple languages, actually speaks English rather well. You don't want to sit down and talk to him? You don't want to make sure people are fed and have electricity and stop global conflict? Weird. I mean, you're telling me we won't bow down to the terrorists, yet we work with the terrorists. I mean, literally, al-Nusra, Al-Qaeda, the whole nine over there in Syria. The enemies we were warned about. Give me a break. Makes me nauseous, but that's okay. It's okay. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share, everybody. Donald Trump is seen arriving at Trump Tower in New York City ahead of today's $250 million civil fraud case against him. As he says, I'm going to court to fight for my name and reputation. It's just unreal. Flanked by Secret Service and NYPD officers, Trump was wearing a navy blue suit, white button-down shirt, and going without a tie as he walked in, ahead of the first time he will appear in court for a civil trial. Barriers were placed around the 58th story 5th Avenue building as he arrived at around 11 p.m. as the DailyMail.com cameras saw Trump enter. The $250 million fraud case kicked off when New York Attorney General Letitia James accused Trump, his adult sons, and the entire Trump organization of inflating the value of properties to fit their business needs. Of course. And if you think Trump was the only guy doing it, try all of them. He previewed what he believed he would face in a post on Truth Social, suggesting the bias of both New York Attorney General Letitia James and Justice Arthur Engoron, who will be prosecuting and ruling over the case, respectively. Again, they already declared the guy guilty. I'm going to court tomorrow morning to fight for my name and reputation against a corrupt and racist Attorney General, Letitia James, who campaigned on getting Trump, he wrote, which she did. He made multiple postings indicating that Engoron, whom he called deranged and Trump-hating, true, was undervaluing his famous Mar-a-Lago estate. Of course. He values Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida at $18 million, when it's worth 50 to 100 times that amount. His valuations are fraudulent in pursuit of election interference, and worse, the whole case is a sham. See you in court Monday morning, Trump added. Again, to say that piece of land is only worth, it's a huge piece of land. It's a huge piece. In fact, we'll do it live. How the size of Mar-a-Lago? Lago. I mean, it's what is it, like 50 acres or more? It's where are we at? Let's see. I don't want just the house. I want the whole thing. How big is the Mar-a-Lago property? Let's see. 62. I understand that part, but isn't there like a whole? It's 20 acres. It's on 20 acres, not 50. Still 20 acres. 20 acres is massive in that area. Do you understand how many developments, how many businesses, how many resorts, hotels could be on 20 acres? 20 acres. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Final segment in the first hour. Remember, second hour is free over at rvmrumble.com. And we'll be back after this word from our sponsor.
Attention Americans, breaking news. Biden's dangerous plan for a digital dollar is underway. Don't be fooled. It won't benefit you. Take action now. The Federal Reserve phased deployment of FedNow began on July 1st, 2023. Be prepared. This may catch many off guard. Your hard-earned assets are in jeopardy. But there's a simple legal tax loophole to opt out of the digital dollar. Reach out to American Alternative Assets for a free wealth protection guide and discover how to safeguard your wealth with gold and silver IRAs against a failing dollar and volatile markets. Visit protectfrombiden.com. This invaluable guide provides precise steps to transfer your IRA or 401k into precious metals without any tax consequences. Be smart. Don't let Biden force you into using the government's new digital dollar. Visit protectfrombiden.com to get your free guide and get started. Again, that's protectfrombiden.com.
All right, guys, we're going to hit a few more stories. Remember, thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Give me a follow across platforms. A lot of the stuff that I don't even get to cover is over at the Twitter feed. And look, the Twitter feed's tough too. At least there's some growth. Like, I would say my growth on Twitter is kind of like my censored YouTube growth back in the day, years and years ago, where I could still just get 5, 10, 15 people, you know, all of a sudden get something where it's like, 50 people in a week. Sometimes I can do that on Twitter. Sometimes. But to compare Twitter like to YouTube as a platform, guys, I can't even choose what the thumbnail of the video looks like. You know, and speaking of like frontmen and Johnny Nonsense, and we talked about this, I think, Thursday's broadcast. But Elon Musk at the border talking about the migration issue. Who the truck is Elon Musk on that? Like, what? Wearing a cowboy hat? Like, talk about pandering assholery, right? Like, I don't know what else that is. It's pandering assholery. At this point, if you don't understand what's going on at the border and that these people are being shipped up and that it's no longer Mexicans for the most part, by the way. Talking South America and Africa. Yeah, in fact, you know, this isn't an issue I talk about too much, but just think about how wide open this is. Again, we're going to do it live. I don't even think I posted this one. Bogota daily flights for border Daily Mail. Yes, here it is right here. On board the Biden Express. Okay. DailyMail.com joins the throng of African migrants on daily sold-out flight TK800 from Istanbul, Turkey to Bogota. What? Every day. They will make their way to Nicaragua, where lax immigration rules allow them in, and authorities rarely check their movements. I mean, take a look. Every single day, sold out. Sold right out. Boom. I mean, first of all, where are these type of dinners? Has anybody at an American flight, I mean, helping of lamb? He had paid $12,000 for his trip from Dakar, the capital of Senegal, to Bogota. So there it is right here. 3,081 miles. So here we are in Africa. Okay. So they're coming from here, going to Istanbul, Turkey. And then they're coming into Bogota, Colombia, making their way to Nicaragua. And then boom, Lukeville, Arizona. Just nuts. Just nuts. And look, my brother, again, I talk about it because, like, Adam's probably the only person I really talk to, other than a few people around me, but have these really in-depth conversations. And he's like, you know, why are they all here? He's like, Are they about to replace people for real because some people might not be around soon? I mean, I'm just going to say it again. I said 3 to 5 years, there's going to be some problems. We're hitting year 3 right now. We're hitting year 3 right now. And we'll see what happens in the next 12 to 18 months. It's an interesting time to be alive, election cycle-wise, geopolitically, technology-wise. I mean, let's see, where is this it right here? I mean, YouTube's out there. U2's out there in a dome. Yeah. Bono. It's from Joe Allen. And I thought, Joe Allen, he's the author of Dark Eon, book on transhumanism. U2 was the first concert I saw people hold up cell phones instead of lighters. Bono instructed them, and they obeyed. I was shooting a trust spot in Miami at the time, around 2005. Now people watch concerts through their smartphones inside massive anti-reality domes. Progress. So let's do it. So this is in that big circular dome that looked like an eyeball on the outside. We played that video. So this is the inside of it with this huge, the largest LED screens in the world. I mean, this is I'm wondering, I'm going to take it off. That's almost not, remember, they're in this weird circular dome. Okay, here we go. Now you're going to take a look around. So I got to admit, I'm interested. I want to go see it in. Look, they're all the angels. It's all the angels. And the birds. I guess the birds are angels. Oh, there's some fish in there. I guess it's made to look heavenly, but really it's nature. Bono! Yeah. Sorry, I can't help myself. All right. Let's keep going on. And again, we're going to be covering more of this in the second hour. I got this Phil Donahue clip that's pure fire, wrapped in platinum, diamond, and gold, talking about the shiggities, the biggity boops back in the diggity day, in a way that you can't, forget about it on YouTube. You certainly couldn't do it on television anymore. The television is just misinformation, disinformation, not true. We you know what? We can't give this person a platform. Deplatform. So the GOP is moving to expel Representative Matt Gaetz after he signaled plans to boot House Speaker Kevin McCarthy for averting the government shutdown. All right. Tides have seemingly turned, and GOP colleagues are trying to oust Gaetz if the House Ethics Committee investigating him finds wrongdoing. So now they're sending the House Ethics Committee after the guy, far from perfect, but way better than the vast majority of these guys. Way better. Is he a Tom Massey? No, but it's tough to be a Tom Massey out there. There would need to be a 2/3 vote for the motion to go through. No one can stand him at this point. A smart guy without morals, one anonymous lawmaker told Fox News. A smart guy without morals. That describes the vast majority of the snakes in D.C. Some of them aren't smart. Let's be honest. Let's see. The Ethics Committee have been investigating him since 2021 for alleged sexual misconduct, illicit drug use, sharing inappropriate images on the House floor, and misusing campaign funds. Since 1789, the Senate has expelled only 15 members. So now they're going for him, huh? Gaetz announced his motion to vacate speakership is imminent on Sunday. I do intend to file a motion to vacate against Speaker McCarthy this week, Gaetz said on CNN Sunday morning. I think we need to rip off the Band-Aid. I think we need to move on and new leadership that can be trustworthy. They should have just stopped it in the beginning. I was all for them continuing to downvote him until they pick somebody else. You can't... Again, Kevin McCarthy promised us what? We were going to get the January 6th tapes, 40 hours. When was that? When was that again? It's back in January? Was it even before January? We're in October, baby. We're in October. We're on the road to Halloween. Every day is really Halloween these days, by the way. Except for instead of the mask being on, the masks are constantly being pulled off. Yeah. So McCarthy's rather arrogant about it. He thinks he's going to be fine, and he just might be. Obviously. He just might be. Not even 100 thumbs up. Can we get 20 thumbs up over there, YouTube? And if you're watching on Rumble, those thumbs do help as well. Stripe, the payment thing, faces backlash after payments firm cut off small family business for selling gun accessories amid debanking controversy. Yeah, Stripe didn't even let me get an account. I tried 2 separate times, and I didn't fit the criteria. What? You know, again, these payment processors, it's bad. You get too big, you get out of line, and this is exactly what they want. You don't have to commit a crime to not be able to use our currency. You don't have to commit a crime to not be able to come into our stores. Okay? You don't have to commit a crime not to be able to eat your food. What do you mean? What do you mean, Jason? Well, if you've got like a blockchain, IMF, World Bank style currency, right, that is tied to your biometrics, that currency may not be able to buy steak anymore. You get up to the counter, try to have your steak, you go, no. It doesn't allow that. What? No. You get a can of beans. You can buy as many cans of beans as you want. Nice GMO beans. They actually got Bill Gates' face right on them. And every once in a while, there's a mystery bean in there. It looks like Warren Buffett. It's delicious. And I wish I was joking. And I'm half joking. Because beans, you might be lucky. Bugs, you might be lucky. It could be printed goo. It could be the Impossible stuff. Like when I watch that Impossible commercial, it gives me nightmares. Trouble sleeping after that thing. So ridiculous. Oh, let's hit another couple stories here. Nope, not going to hit that one. We're going to wait for that one. That's just shows you how crazy everything is. So this also shows you how crazy everything is. So Dianne Feinstein died. And they really wanted to roll her out for one more vote. They brought that woman out there dying the last several months. Dying so that she could vote for their policies. Clearly mentally not there. Okay? 90 years old. Okay? And you see that Schumer like cried, and then Schwarzenegger said something, Newsom, who they're clearly getting ready to pull something with. He's now the spokesperson for the Democratic Party. They don't go to Joe Biden. They don't go to his press secretary. They don't go to Kamala Harris. They go to Newsom. And Schwarzenegger, again, I had this discussion with Steve Poikonen for the premium. And I pointed out him rocking that giant Death's Head Nazi belt buckle. I don't always point out the fact that he had Kurt Waldheim at his wedding, Nazi war criminal, and prominent member of the United Nations. Shocker. And he said, back in the day, I don't care. I love Kurt. Maria loves Kurt. We love Kurt. He's like a part of the family. Gave him a toast. And then later, he had to apologize for it. Just like he's apologizing for his Nazi father all of a sudden. Yeah. That's why, again, it wasn't just the skull and bones. He rocked the actual Nazi Death's Head as governor on his belt on the cover of Time magazine with Michael Bloomberg. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. We're going to come back for a moment. I'm going to do one more break here. I'm going to tell you where you can watch that second hour. It's RVMRumble.com.
When I invented MyPillow, my passion was to help each and every one of you. And 20 years later, all of your support is what keeps us going. Because of you, we've been able to create thousands of USA jobs and help millions get the best sleep ever. To thank you, my employees and I are bringing you a limited edition MyPillow. The Giza Elegance My Pillow is made with my patented adjustable fill, the most amazing cotton, and a 2-inch pipe gusset. It has 4 custom loft levels, machine washable and dryable, and you get my 60-day money-back guarantee and 10-year warranty.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your limited edition 20th anniversary My Pillow queen size. Retails for $69.98, now only $19.98. That's right, get a queen size My Pillow for only $19.98.
From all of us here at My Pillow,
use that promo code RVM when getting those comfy pillows. They ain't lumpy. You don't call Mike Lindell's pillows lumpy. You want to tell him that somebody got a lumpy pillow? You're in for a tongue lashing, let me tell you. YouTube, you know the deal. It's the end of the first hour. You can watch the second hour free at rvmrumble.com. Make sure that you're following me across social media and platforms. We're doing it all over the place. We'll see you over there. Again, Donahue's going to kick it off with this classic clip that you could no longer see on mainstream television.